Yay! Oh, which way's better? Alright, that's better. We are live. See if we get anyone jumping in on this one. How's it going tonight? Kind of got a serious topic to go over. And I'm going to share some stories about it and then get into current events. So thanks to people that are jumping in already. Hey, we're up to 3 people. Alright, that's been working. So, hopefully everyone's having a good night. I didn't think I was going to have to cover this topic. But, yeah, some people just don't learn. So, hopefully audio is good. Doing this directly live to YouTube. Give this a couple of minutes here. Give them about a minute for notifications and all to go out. I don't expect a whole lot of people to jump in. I know there's a couple other people that are live right now, but it is a kind of serious topic about not having relations with your students and what it will cost you. So feel free to comment if you have any questions. I'm going to make sure I get the shirt out onto YouTube or over to my Facebook page. So hopefully everyone's having a good night. Where is post? Bear with me. Posting. Yay. All right. So let's go start this off with some past stories for you. Back when I was just a PSD trainer only, this has got to be 2014, 2015. One of the fellow trainers that I knew, I kind of got to know him by being a friend of a friend. So one day I met him out on the pad. He was training a female student. She came into Prime with her boyfriend at the time. So they ended up having to get different trainers. Now they were going through kind of a rough patch and decided to break it up while they were in training. They decided to stick it out at Prime. Well, my friend, the trainer, decided to proceed to have relations with her and thought it was okay and all fine and dandy and going through everything. She was okay with it at the time. He was fine with it, even though I don't know if he was married or not. That's none of my business, but I'd say he was having relations with that student. Even I don't think it was during the PSD phase, but it was definitely during TNT. She goes on to home time and decides that trucking's not for her. She wants to get away from him, wants to get nothing to do with her boyfriend, nothing to do with the trainer, nothing to do with Prime. So she calls up the company and says that her trainer has proceeded to, that her and her trainers have had relations on the truck during training. So what Prime ended up doing is they canceled his lease. I believe he was lease. And he could no longer haul prime freight. And so he had to find a new job. Now, her, on the other hand, went through and they canceled her contract, so she didn't have to pay back for schooling, and they let her walk. Now, you're going to hear all sorts of horror stories about male, female, male on male, female on female. You're living in a tiny ass box with people. So you got to understand not to let your feelings or your emotions or whatever you think you're going through at that time influence or guide you in the wrong way that you know that you're not supposed to be going. Put it the best way. Everyone that goes through the training process knows that you're not supposed to be having any form of relations with your student. It's all laid out in the freaking training classes that you go through. So, for anyone that falls victim to it, because there are even cases of, I'll give you another story. Buddy of mine, he's kind of a bigger guy. He's bigger than me. He was training a female, and she decided that trucking was no longer for her. So she was looking for any and all options to get out of the contract, get out of prime. So what she went through and did was she was trying to press sexual harassment charges on him for when he would get up. Sometimes his pants would be a little low and she would see his butt crack. Thankfully, only thing that happened on that situation was he couldn't train females of the same sex anymore. But she had to stick out her contract. She had to get another trainer. I think eventually she did quit. So whatever happened with that is what happened. But it can go through. That's why there is a lot of male trainers out there. I don't care if it's Prime, Sierra England, Swift, Stevens, whoever the basic training companies are. There is a lot of trainers out there that will not train the opposite sex just for that reason. It is a lot of risk to go into training that person because all they got to do is file the complaint on you and you're screwed. So it can go as some of the little as, oh, he talked to me the wrong way. The other scary side of it is, and it's one of the lawsuits that Prime is facing right now, is guys think that they can get some females on their truck and the rules don't apply to them and they can do whatever they want to do with the student. And they try and convince them that if they say anything to Prime or whoever the training company is at the time, that they're going to lose their CDL and all this other crap. It's just search frickin' Prime lawsuits. It's one of the top ones that's out there. Because, and the other part to her lawsuit was that she was teaming with him and no one told her about his past problems with female students. So the other lawsuit, which makes it real interesting that Prime lost, was I think it settled in 2016. They got hit with a lawsuit saying that you could only train same sex. So what ended up happening was there's females waiting around for 3, 6, 18 months waiting for a trainer. And they weren't able to get a trainer because they were only had to wait for a female. So they ended up losing the job and owing all this money. So they lost that lawsuit. So that's why, as a trainer, I think students have to sign it too. You get a paperwork saying that if you are willing or not willing to train the opposite sex. It is very important that you stick to that. They can't force you to go with the opposite sex. They can't force you to take the opposite sex. So that's the second lawsuit that came out of it. I've heard trainers trying to pull stupid shit, like sitting there looking. This is back before the computer program to matching people, where they'd sit out at the campus in the smoking section and sit there and try and prey upon the female students that were coming in. Now, the only people who can stop that are the students that get on the trucks, because unfortunately there is no way that whatever company it is can know exactly what is going on the truck unless the student is saying what the hell is going on. That's one of the biggest things that I was trying to fight for, was some other form of communication to go between you and the fleet manager, or you and the training department. So that way you had another open line to talk about this crap. So I'm trying to make sure don't want to give out too much information about current events, but it's not just one person that's come to me about this. I've had several people, and even though I'm still not at Prime, I still have a lot of friends and stuff that are at Prime, contact me and say what's going on with this guy. I'm like, I don't know. I don't work there anymore. But I had it confirmed. Pretty much he ended up, whatever reason, decided that it would be okay to have relations with his TNT student. And now he's no longer employed at Prime. I'm not upset at him. I'm not upset at a student. They're grown-ass adults that made their own decisions. What I'm upset is it's been enough time now where he should have came out and talked to his audience and let them know what is going on. So that way people who were putting him down for referrals and everything else knew what's going on, not expecting to be able to get on his truck, not putting someone down and looking for information and all that, and all of a sudden now he's just ghosting everything. So that's what I'm upset about. Let me see. So that's what. So I don't know if he's going to come out. I don't know if Prime pretty much told him he cannot talk about the subject, but he should come out and talk about that he's no longer at Prime and everything that's going on. There's way too many people that are looking around for him and trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know if my chat's working. I'm not seeing any chat, so if the chat's not working, sorry guys. This is kind of gonna be a shorter video, anyways. Trying to figure out, because I'm just doing this directly from YouTube, so I don't know if it flags something where that stupid kid-friendly crap and it's not letting chat go through. But anyways, do not let, even if you're a student, I've seen it on the flip side where students try and convince their trainers, oh yeah, hey, you're living in a small box with somebody. they're helping you out. They're help guiding you through this process. I can kind of get where you can kind of grow feelings for somebody, especially in this new program where Prime's doing, where it's 50,000 miles TNT. And you're looking at a minimum of 12. If you go through the whole process, at minimum, you're looking at 14 weeks you're dealing with that person. More than likely, you're looking at 18, probably, I would guess about 20 weeks being on that person's truck, living in a small ass box. You're not really sleeping together, but you're sleeping in the same damn truck. You're eating together. You're doing everything together. I can kind of get on how someone can start developing emotional connection and try and think, oh, hey, we're grown as adults. We can do whatever the hell we want. Be this warning to you guys. A lot of companies, as I said earlier in the video, Prime's lost one lawsuit. They freaking in the middle of the second lawsuit. That one hasn't settled yet. Do not have relations with your students. Students, don't come out here thinking you can have relations with your trainers. It can go both ways. But the biggest problem, and I hate to say it, guys are assholes. They're pigs. They think with one thing and they think with one thing only. Too many of them get on these, think that they have that power to do whatever the hell they want to do to their students once they get on their truck. If you ever have that issue, you need to, pretty much what I tell all my students is you always keep one bag with all your important shit on it. Like you can be a backpack you use for your shower bag. Grab that bag, hop off the damn truck, say you got to go take a shower, you can say you had an accident or whatever. Call fleet manager, say this is what's going on. I feel unsafe to get on that truck anymore. They will route either another truck there to pick you up, get you a hotel room, or in a bus ticket, whatever. But they will get you off that truck. They will not keep you in an unsafe situation. But you got to call and let somebody know what's going on. So that's the biggest advice I can give to you guys. As I said, something's going on with the chat. I don't know what the hell is going on. So I'm going to be on this one here in a couple minutes. So if anyone's new that jumped in, do not have relations with your student. It will cost you everything. The current guy that's went through this, as I said, I'm not disappointed in you. I'm not disappointed in your student for not coming out and saying, hey, what I'm disappointed is you haven't come out and said that you're no longer with the company. Get your information from somebody else. Pass that knowledge, especially for all the people that you have coming in on a referral. That's the people I'm upset for. Is you're all these people you had coming in on a referral for you, and now I hope you're reaching out to them. I don't know if you are or not. You haven't done videos up lately at all. So that's pretty much that's why this has got me upset about it. So do not have relations with your trainer. Do not think it's okay. Now, if you get on I'll turn this to the other side. If you think you are getting to that point where you're having feelings for your trainer or your student, you need to say something immediately. They will separate you guys, finish up training. Then once they finish, they're no longer a student. They can come back on your truck as a teammate, and then it's all fine. It's the whole situation is they're a student, you're a trainer. It's that whole authority thing, the whole stupid quid pro quo crap that a lot of companies fall victim to. So you've seen Prime's went through one, got one on the books about it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, good old Google search. So I think that's what I'm going to leave this one at thing. I might pop on live here again in here about a couple minutes. I'm going to go use the bathroom and see if I can figure out what the hell is going on with the chat. So if you guys want to come back in, let's say it's 8:30. I'll pop back in at 9 and see if the chat's working then. So with that, everyone stay safe, and I will see you a little bit later.